Okay, should we begin? My name is Wil Wellington. I'm based in the EMEA office, and I'm part of the Professional Services Division of Adaptive Computing. I've been given a great task of speaking to you guys regarding the GUIs and how we can use it to open up your HPC environment. So these are the topics I'm going to try and cover. So I'm going to start off with by actually comparing GUIs versus CLIs. I'm then going to walk through quickly through Moab Web Services. I won't go into too much detail because I'm sure that there's other talks going on today as well. Then I will actually show you how to build a very simple GUI using MWS that I'll compile later on. So I'll literally just walk you through the code and what it does. I'll then go through and take you through Viewpoint, or what we've done to the new Viewpoint, and also, for those of you that don't know, what work we've also done regarding HP insideHPC. That again will be a quick topic we'll go through, which has been covered later on by one of my colleagues. And at the end, as per usual, I'll ask for any other questions that anyone's got. So we'll start with comparing CLIs. CLIs is good. It's very easy to use, but the hardest thing with CLIs is that you need to remember the commands in order to go through and use them properly. Control of the CLIs is fantastic. It gives you full access to OS if you're a root admin. If you're a user, you can do loads of things like write the batch scripts and everything else. But where it actually falls down is regarding multitasking. Not multitasking in the way of actually running jobs, but multitasking in the way that you actually allows you to view things that are actually going on in the actual screen. The appearance also of CLIs, you generally, sorry Werner, can you hear me? It's a bit louder. Is it? It's not on?
No, it is.
It is? Okay. So I'm a little bit nervous as well, so apologies.
Don't hide.
No, I can't. Apparently I've got a small window to move in, where they can't record me. I'm actually chained to the floor. Right, the appearances of CLIs very, very rarely change. This is because obviously we go through it, we use it to scrape the commands, i.e. often does the Moab show queue command actually change? Because you may write like third-party application, you start go through and use it, you scrape information off it, you do certain things and so on and so forth. So very rarely do you see the appearance of CLIs actually change. CLIs speed-wise, fantastic. Yeah, undoubtedly it's very faster compared with GUIs. You need less few keystrokes to perform advanced functions, and also should be doing like a remote connection. There's a smaller footprint of textual information that you need to pass and go back and forth. Resources-wise, you need a lot less things to actually get CLIs going. You don't need to worry about icons, don't need to worry about web services, and so on and so forth. Scripting, it goes without saying. With a CLI, you can script your heart's content. Yeah, the world is actually open to you and what you can do. So, as I said, comparison is not to go through and actually say what the downside of CLI is. We just say that it brings it up into the top so we can actually talk about it in more detail. Right, GUIs. Everybody loves GUIs. Very easy to pick up. Users love GUIs. Yeah, because all they have to do is look at something and straight away it looks great. Yeah, it looks much easier to use, and they don't have to remember the commands. Yeah, they don't have to remember all the Moab commands. They don't have to remember all the operating system commands. They just literally point and click, and off they go. Control, lots of controls you get in the GUIs compared with the CLI. With the control of the GUIs, yes, you may have to go through and write a lot of CLI stuff to get the actual control. But once you've done it, the world against your oyster. Yeah, like copying a file, pick up an icon, move it across, drop it down somewhere, file's copied. Yeah, okay, that's just a one motion of a hand. Multitasking using GUIs. Again, GUIs surpasses CLIs in this respect. Very easy to view, control, manipulate multiple templates at the same time. So you can have loads of things going on your page. You know, I mean, you're all used to the internet. Yeah, so it goes without saying. The amount of things you get on just one page and what you can actually accomplish is amazing. And the appearance of CLIs, or rather GUIs, well, again, it goes without saying. It all depends, on what kind of artistic qualities you've actually got and what you can do and how far you can go, with GUIs. Okay? Speed, in comparison with CLIs, is not that quick, because you need to go through a lot of things to actually get it going. Yes, you may need to optimize your web service, to do this and do that, and to get up to a reasonable speed. But compared with CLIs, it will never compare at all. Resource-wise, you need a lot more resources to actually get GUIs actually going. CLI, straight away, no, you get the prompt, SSH, you get the prompts, and off you go. You far away, you're running away. Okay, with a CLI, with a GUI, you need to make sure that all your icons in place where you can deploy your application, the fonts you're using, the right version, that supports the right version of browsers, and so on and so forth. And scripting, apart from simply just doing just copying the icons across, changing bookmarks and send, there's not a real deal you can do with GUIs at all. This again is where CLIs actually trumps GUIs. Saying all that, the conclusion is that CLI or other GUIs wins hands down. Okay? It wins because they're beautiful, they're easy to use, and they've all got inbuilt multitasking capabilities. Yeah, and above all, it can be quite fun to actually code as well and actually work with. Now brings me on to Moab Web Services. How many of you actually come across or use Moab Web Services at the moment? Anyone at all? One person. Okay. Moab Web Services was introduced, I believe, last year at Moabcon. And since then, it's actually gathered quite a lot of pace regarding what it can do and its capabilities as well. Generically, we go through it and use Web Services in our cloud engagement. But also, Web Services is actually available for HPC as well, so which a lot of HPC customers do not know that. It actually allows you to simplify a lot of things, and it takes away a lot of restrictions that you guys normally have regarding interacting with Moab. Yeah, there's no more actually running a command and waiting for Moab to actually respond to your command. The web service will actually return your response pretty much instantaneously in that sense. It just opens up a completely different world and what you can do with Moab, and where it actually fits in the whole game. Our web service is based on the RESTful web interface. So what that means is, in fact, just the same way as you actually connect to you, or after you actually interact with your Internet Explorer or Firefox, you go to a website, you ask it to go to a certain page. It serves that request, and then it stops. Okay? So that's what we mean by our RESTful interfaces. It also reduces the client-server coupling, so you haven't got a lot of traffic going back and forward all the time. Yeah, it's very quick, it's very simple, it's very clean. You can also access the resources with multiple representations. Yeah, so different people from different organizations, from different areas can also go through and actually access whatever they want for the web services. The list is actually endless, but obviously, you use the HTTP protocols, you can cache, you can set it up for a proxy, you can put it behind your firewall, so now you actually go into a lot more things that you can do web services. So you're moving Moab into a different abstract layer now. Yeah, you put web services in front, to give you more control, to give your users a lot better things to go for and interact with. How does it work? It basically works like the server, in this instance is Moab, okay? And your resources are things like your jobs, your nodes, your reservation, and so on and so forth. The list is actually endless. How does it work? So we use 4 main protocols in actually talking to our web services. We use the GET to actually read information from the actual web services, and we use the PUT to modify information for web services. So in this instance, just to explain, the GET will be like show queue or check job. Okay? The PUT or modify will be you actually modifying the job that you've actually gone through already placed in a queue. Post, your submission point, where you actually submit to web services. And also your delete function as well, where you can cancel a job or delete wherever's actually in the queue as well. Moving on, okay, and this is now going to show you like the somewhat famous phrase, the Monte Carlo simulation. Here we've got the web services API that sits in there, and you've got your converter as well. And your converter is your local application. That is going to go through and actually accept your user input that comes in. It's going to convert it, and it's going to talk to MWS, converts it to a job, and then Moab sees that's a job and actually runs the job. Okay? Once that job's running, you can then go through and use your GET command to actually find out information regarding the state of the job, what it looks like, how it's performing, and you get a whole wealth of information, far more than you get from a check job. Okay? The output that comes out from web services today is based on the JSON format. Yeah, and that gentleman is very, very easy to pass as well. Okay, and I will go through it again with this short demonstration I'll show later on. I'll show you a simple Perl script that I wrote a couple of days ago when I got here that literally just uses web services, it gets information, and literally just passes it all the way through. How does it work? As you can see, the web services is kind of a ring fence around Moab. So all the client commands in the future will be converted to actually go via web services, to leave Moab to do what Moab's good at. Okay, actually going through scheduling your jobs, yeah, actually working out what you do, place your reservation, looking after your system. Yeah, Moab will carry on doing that. But the web services will be an abstract layer, yeah, that will actually help you, yeah, and actually make life a lot easier for you as well, and actually speed things up for you at the same time. Even Viewpoint, yeah, the actual installation of Viewpoint it's been simplified now. Whereas before you used to spend days and hours, and not often so before, to install a Viewpoint. Now you just drop in one WAR file, it works with web services, and off you go from there. Your integration scripts will also interact with web services to get to find out what's going on, the stats, the resource management, allocation management, and so on and so forth. Web services also introduces a plugin layer as well. Yeah, pretty much like you have in Moab where you have resource managers, yeah, you've also got a plugin layer where you can actually interact and write your own protocols, write your own resource managers, write your own things that you want to do. Unlike Moab, whereas most things actually follow the Moab scheduling cycle, with web services you can change that. Yeah, so you can have multiple plugins that run at multiple times, that start at multiple times, that get kicked off at multiple times as well. So it's actually, again, you're actually opening up for yourself. It's endless what you can do to it. You've all seen this picture, yeah, but I'm not sure you've all actually seen it with this blue ring over here regarding the actual web service layer, which is where we're going to go with it, which is where we are going, which we are now, actually, with it. So currently, yeah, if you imagine that blue web service layer actually not there at all, that's what you've all got. You all actually interact with the Moab Intelligence Engine, with the Showback and Chargeback solution you've got directly. Okay? It's a heavy load of Moab. We all know that. We've all been complaining about it. Yeah, and now we've brought our web services to help you do that. So web services will not go through and actually interrupt what you've got at the moment. If anything, it'll actually enhance it as well. Okay, so when you install it, you don't change your Moab configuration file. It works exactly the same way. It just means that it gives you another layer to actually communicate with Moab. Okay, so your workload you can query, your health monitor, your provision management, storage network, everything else that you can originally do with Moab, you can do through the web services as well. So what do you get out of the box? This is what you get pretty much. Once you've installed it, yeah, it's very simple to install. It takes literally about 20 minutes, half an hour to install it. Okay. Based on Tomcat, again, because we're going down Tomcat route, you install the web service, you drop the WAR file in there, Tomcat expands it for you, and literally you go to a default address, which we've got, which is your local host 8080. You can change that if you want, but as soon as you got it, the web service, the WAR file will look around, find out all the adaptive stuff that it knows about, yeah, and it'll tell you what you can see, yeah, if they've been configured correctly. If it's not, it gives you other pages where you can go through. And it also gives you like sample things. Yeah, whereas normally we don't, which we've been failing on, is give you examples of actually how to actually submit jobs. Yeah, even more when you get more about the box, yeah, unless you know MSub or you know QSub by talk, yeah, you've got no idea at all how to go through and submit a basic job. But with web services, when you actually launch it, you get like a few options about how to list jobs. Yeah, you get like, it gives you the JSON file, what you actually submit to it, yeah, and actually get it to interact as well. Okay. Here you're seeing a plugin monitor. And as I said to you before, you can actually change the time. The screen's not very clear, so apologies for that. But as you can see, they all follow complete different cycles, or they used to. One's got an next poll of 22 seconds time. The other four are going to poll in 24 seconds time. With web services as well, one great thing you can do is that you can actually pause your resource manager. So if you've got an issue, yeah, whereas before, if Moab was blocking, yeah, because the resource manager is failing, your whole estate is pretty much down because Moab won't do anything at all because it's waiting for your plugin to actually respond, yeah, to what you're actually doing. With web services, you found an issue straight away, you go into the control panel, yeah, click pause. Okay, yeah. Moab will be none the wiser. With the information it will have will be the previous information. It will just carry on working as per normal. But you've got full control over here. You can stop it. You can restart it. Yeah, and you can use new plugins as you go along. Again, here you're listing different types of plugins that's actually been compiled from this screenshot. Here you can see the fact that we've actually compiled a CSA plugin as well, for those of you who are actually looking into cloud service automation. You've got your native plugins, you've got storage plugins, you've got vCenter plugins, all these kind of things. Yeah, they're very easy to compile and very easy to implement as well. Simple screen showing you basically how to go through and edit a plugin. Yeah, so in there you type in there your preferences. Yeah, you type in the polling interval. Auto start, yes. Do you want Moab to start automatically when it starts all the time? Yes. And also the credentials that you use to log onto your plugin if need be. Okay. Straightforward, as simple as that. And now I'm going to take you through the small application that I've actually gone through and built. And this is all done using Moab Web Services. It's using, I did it with an older version of Moab actually, Moab 7.01, okay? And I'm using Torque, an old version of Torque. This is all running on my laptop, which is in there somewhere, but I'm actually accessing it from there. So, if I go to here, yeah, this is my laptop, yeah? My laptop's called Caesar. It's an old name. Okay. So what I've got here is a Perl script that I wrote, as I said, a couple of days ago, if that. And all it does is literally, it's going to interact with web services by calling this command over here, this curl command. That is all he's going to do. He's in a big loop that calls the curl command to actually get a list of all the jobs that are actually running in Moab. Yeah. It doesn't do anything else at all. And then later on, the code a bit further down is going to pass that information. Okay. And what I'm now going to go through and show you what this is going to do, this is going to generate a very simple HTML page. Okay, for that HTML page, I'm going to fire up a Firefox browser through VNC and show you guys this page actually running. Okay, so you can see the information and what's going through. So here I'm actually getting the information from web services. And then I'm just doing some normalization. Yeah, as you can see, I like to comment my code so I know where I am. Okay. Declaring some variables at the top there, yeah, and here this is what I'm doing. Through web services, I've got the JSON data block back, yeah, and I'm looking to see what the actual running jobs are, yeah, on there. Okay, so the jobs are coming in, so what I'm now going to do is that I'm actually going through compiling. For those who know HTML, this is no-brainer at all. I'm just compiling a row at a time as I go through, so I'm just converting to a table format. Okay, so I'm passing information, I'm getting the information coming out from web services, I'm going through and getting the name of the user, submitting the name of the job, the user, the submission date, the submission time, the required processes that the job is actually requested for. So I pretty much try to mimic what you generally see in ShowQ, yeah, from Moab using this. Here, I'm doing exactly the same thing as well, and we're going to actually go through and get further down. I'm actually compiling the list of eligible jobs as well. So what's actually queued to be run. Same kind of thing you see in using ShowQ, and at the bottom there, I'm actually showing you block jobs as well, okay? Now, let's hope everything's working. If I run this command by itself, sorry, this is a US keyboard, so it takes me a while to get used to it. There we go. Okay. Now, there's nothing running on the machine at the moment at all. There's no jobs, there's nothing at all. So I've actually executed the web services. Okay. And this is the exact same command. I just cut and paste here from the Perl script. And at the moment, there's nothing running at all. It says come up with nothing inside it whatsoever. Yeah. You also want me to just put that command right at the end there called pretty. What this basically does is just normalizes and makes it easy for me to read. Okay, that's all. Right. I'm just going to jump to VNC quickly because I've got different sessions here. Exactly the same box, exactly the same folders and everything else. Okay. So I've got a script. Okay. And it's a very, very simple bash shell script. Yeah. All it's doing is going from 1 to 50, yeah, and it's just creating random jobs, basically. Yeah, so those jobs are asking for a random amount of nodes, and it's asking for a random amount of processes per nodes. Yeah, and the job's, it's a sleep job for 60 seconds. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else at all. Yeah, it just goes through and does that. So if I just modify this quickly, so it just does, let's say 2, yeah. And if I run it, okay. Same command, more information coming through. Okay, so unlike, as I said, unlike check job where you actually had just a small limited amount of information, you have to put minus v, minus v, minus v, minus v, minus v, minus v. Yeah. Now you can just go here and literally tells you a whole world of information regarding the job. Okay, so it tells you what's running, and this is actually as we're actually improving web services, you're getting more information about what goes on. You find the more stuff about your job, more stuff about your services that's going on. Okay? Now, modify this just to put in 50 jobs. Something for us to actually view. And over here, oops. I'm just going to start a Firefox session quickly. Right, the program that we've written is called, actually, let's do it from here, it makes it easier. Okay, I'm not going to run that script that I showed you earlier on. Okay, and all it's going to do is literally just go through it and read through web services and just go round the cycle. Right at the end of it, let's sleep for 2 seconds so it doesn't hammer it all the time. Okay, and that's all it is. That's now running now. Yeah, that's now polling web services for information. I'm now going to submit our 50 jobs in there. This is where Xterm comes into really handy. As you can see, these are live demonstrations, and nothing goes right. Okay. Okay. So this is the output of what's actually been generated. Yeah, from that Perl script I showed you. Yeah. So it's actually gone through, it's compiled an HTML file. If I refresh it, yeah, you'll see the values will actually eventually go through it and change. Okay. So it's actually the Perl script is actually polling MWS. It's generating the file. Yeah, and as it's going through and doing that, it's actually I'm reading it here. It's just a flat file. Yeah, I'm not going through any fancy website at all. I'm just saying that just go through and show me the HTML file, and that's it. And that HTML file is that. This is what was created. Okay? Now, the application for this is kind of endless. You can actually go through and actually write something very simple as this with your web services, place it in your user's home directory. They can all log in via their iPhone, their actual Android phone, whatever. They can look at what state of the job is actually going on, what's actually happening from there. Not only that, yeah, because they didn't have time to compile it in this demonstration, but you can also put in there things like graphs and charts and what you want to go through and do with it as you go forward as well. So they can see the stats of what's going on as well, not just see the show stat. They can have more information what's going through. And this only took me, I think, about a couple of hours to go through and compile this short piece of code to actually interact with web services and actually produce information for you. Now I can find my PowerPoint screen because everything else, it's Windows. Don't you just love it, eh? Which brings me to Viewpoint, okay? Now, in the past, I know that you've all kind of like, one way or the other, someone stood where I'm standing now and presented to you Viewpoint. and saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. We work very hard on it. It's improving, it's improving, it's improving. Well, I'm happy to say the fact that the guys have actually been listening to them, been working very hard and actually improving, and they've been working very hard to actually make it easy to install. Yeah, they've been working very hard to actually pull in some of the old information and stats from which we used to have in MCM across the Viewpoint. They've improved the way that we actually submit jobs as well through Viewpoint. So using Viewpoint, you can submit jobs from there, and they'll then go through via the web services portal and actually will talk to Moab to actually get your jobs into it. So they've actually reduced a lot of stuff. They've simplified the speed of job submissions as well. Yeah, because the faster that MWS is, the faster the Viewpoint actually gets as well. Same old thing, but it's expanded the actual job submission page for users. Here you can see where they've actually improved, where you can see the jobs are actually running. So there you've got, like, as the pointers say, you've got quick, easy filters, you've got quick, easy action that you can actually perform. Unlike previous version, here you can click on the job ID or a single highlighted row, and what you get more information about the job that goes on. Okay, they're continuously evolving Viewpoint to actually address all your needs as well, give you more information, more interaction, and more of what's going on as well. They've made it easy to actually manage user access as well and user profiles. Yeah, they've made it easy to actually synchronize with LDAP service as well. Okay, this I know because I've actually used it in one of my recent engagements. Yeah, well, we actually use Viewpoint. Yeah, to in the cloud engagement as well. Okay, so they're actually making advancement in a lot of areas as well. Admins can now easily create reservations for user access to resources. You can control reservations, you can assign, schedule specific times, and so on and so on. So all the things you used to spend hours in actually doing or trying to compile using the mark configuration file, yeah, you can now do it through Viewpoint. This before was all available in MCM, so as I say, they're porting across all the commands, everything that you can do in MCM across to Viewpoint. Again, to say they quick down sessions there, you can drill down to what reservations have been set, yeah, who's reserved it, yeah, what's been set on, the start date, end date. They're trying to give you as much information as you can. Yeah, because as you saw earlier on, with web services, the fact that you've got a world of information across, they're trying to pull that information from web services and actually display it to your screen. So not the old days of actually seeing, you know, all you see is a reservation idea, who actually created it and how long it's there for, I think are pretty much gone. Now you've got access to a whole world of information through Viewpoint. Again, customizing it is very easy now. You can go through it like web services. You literally got a configuration screen that you walk through. It tells you the version of Viewpoint. Yeah, MWs have installed, Moabs have installed, Moab Account Manager have installed, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so all our applications now, all our adaptive applications are now becoming aware of each other. So it knows actually what's installed and what state is actually used as well. Visual Node Management. This is based on our cloud section, where you actually see it, where you normally see jobs. Yeah, you'll see the actual nodes of what's going on, what state the actual node's in. Okay, so you can apply it to vCenters. If you've got a cloud scenario, the nodes will be replaced by your actual VM names as it goes through. There's the powers that's on the OS that's actually running. Again, this is showing you the HPC version, but it's showing you the actual, typical things that you usually know. You normally get this from MDAG-N as well. Now, the last topic I'm going to touch on briefly is what we've done regarding HP CMU. CMU, for those of you that don't know, is a cluster management utility. Okay, last year, I believe, again, we actually touched on what works we're doing regarding HP CMU, how you can actually, administrators can actually go through it, and from one GUI, HP CMU can actually interact with Moab. Happy to report the fact that we've actually done a lot of work on this, and this is now a reality. Yeah, with HP CMU, you can actually do a lot of things through CMU to actually interact with Moab. I'm not sure how many of you have actually seen this screen before from CMU, but here you'll see a typical load view of what's going on. Okay, on the left, this is again via CMU. All this work was done using Moab Web Services. So here you'll see, the CPU load, the swap space, the memory's been used. So each actual segment you see there is actually a node. Okay, so obviously the more nodes you have, the more segments you actually have as well. Okay. On the left-hand side, over here, you'll see the actual jobs that are actually running. okay, on there through CMU. You can actually go through, and that's actually interacting with Moab all the time. It's actually interacting through the web services to actually get that information to CMU, so they can actually represent it in a graphical way. You can drill down. Once you drill down a bit further, you can see what nodes, the jobs are actually running on as well. Okay, you can actually do things like you can place reservation through CMU as well. So there's a lot of work we've done with managing your actual cluster for a cluster management utility tool. It's now out there. It's ready for you guys to go through and use. And here is a timeline view, which is one of the great features about CMU as well. Again, I won't go into too much detail. I think this is possibly the last slide I've got on this. But Andy Garside from HP is going to talk a bit further about CMU later on. But here you'll see in every segment, you actually see a slice. You see there's a 5-second snapshot of your cluster. The load has actually occurred on your cluster from there. So, and if you had a mouse wheel, you can actually twirl that around, spin it around, look at what's on the other side, and as it goes through, it actually captures the look and feel of your cluster. Every 5 seconds. You can change that interval to wherever you want, and that is communicating via Moab as well. There are some other additional flags and variables you get when you actually install CMU as well, which you can then harvest that through Moab. Okay, so you can work out, what the network load actually is. So you actually make sure it made taking decisions about where to go through and place the jobs. Okay, so this kind of interaction is all been done. It's all been done using Moab Web Services as well. Okay, Moab is still in the background. It's still doing what it's going to, still placing the jobs. But these kind of interactions now, we're now capable of doing it using Moab Web Services. And as I said, we're bringing out more things, more interactions, more interfaces, and more tools for you guys to go through and use. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? No? Oh.
Will you make some of that available, like further commands and things that you use in your examples?
Yes. There will be part of my slide deck which you will get afterwards, so you can get that. But it's very simple.
So you said earlier you can use your own browser, but you said Tomcat.
Tomcat's running to actually run web services.
You need Tomcat?
On the actual server itself, so you need Tomcat. So remember when we touched on resources that you need between CLI and resources between GUI? This is where the GUI comes into it. So you need something to actually drive that information for you.
In the past, there was like an MWS that you could run outside,
Mm-hmm.
and you could spawn it off of your workstation, and then it would communicate through SSH into the server with, I have credit cards, but we use SSH in, and I can get all that information there. That's not available anymore?
No, I don't think I can't ever recall us having that at all, because Moab Web Services is new. In order to actually, it's just a web service, that's what it is. So in order to run a web service, you need a web server, okay? And that web server comes in the shape, in our case, in the shape of Tomcat. Okay.
The end user doesn't have to have Tomcat.
No. All the end user needs to have is just a browser. They can use Firefox, they can use Opera, they can use IE, they can use whatever. Yes, sir.
Can the user actually see historical usage data, like how many jobs they've run?
Yes. One thing that comes across as well with the new release of Moab and MWS is that we use the Mongo database to store things through. So as an interim store, you can even make a permanent store if you want to. Everything that comes across is actually pumped into Mongo database. So if you want to, if you think to yourself, web service is too slow for me, I want to go straight to the horse's mouth. Okay, you can go directly to the Mongo database and actually extract information there for yourself as well. Okay, so all web services do is pull information back out that is actually been interacting with Moab with, and is actually presenting it to you in a nice, readable form. Yes. Sorry, it's just about to ask a question. Sorry, you were saying?
Basically, a quick question about how easy is it to go through and put data in that is not currently part of my web services, like user data, like mdiag-u.
Web services is designed around Moab in a sense. Okay, so mdiag put user information that what it knows, it knows from Moab in a sense. Okay, it doesn't go through and actually hold any other thing. You can use the database for yourself. Yeah, you can use the database to actually pull in whatever information you want, but you can also write your own plugins. Yeah, to actually read those different databases as well. This is what the whole idea of the plugin is there for. By default, Moab pumps that information into MWS rather than to the Mongo database, and MWS extracts it from there. Okay.
So things like QS or whatever that's already brought over.
Yeah.
We could do that additionally with like users.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, the HP CMU, that's pretty much exclusive to the HP product line, or is that? I mean, there's features that I that seem pretty interesting, but I know that.
The short answer is yes. Yeah. So the rest of it you can work out for yourself. But
Another question I was going to have, with Viewpoint, are there any, I guess, kind of partially answered it, but looking for doing like pipelines, so that way people can submit jobs using specific tools and flags.
Mhm.
Is that something that can be added to the Viewpoint
Yes.
portal? Or, okay, and is that completely open to the users, or, I mean, not users, but admins?
Yeah.
Using the same kind of method you just used there?
You say kind of method here, you can actually go from a Viewpoint when it comes out of the box, it gives you default options. So it's just to get you going, in essence, yeah. It's not the end of it. You can actually expand it to include wherever you want it to go through and do as well. Yeah.
So, is our solution be able to talk to Moab Web Services, basically? I mean, so, because we're looking at something called a Galaxy server, which
Mm.
does a bioinformatics pipelining.
Yep.
And that's just, what I'm getting from this is that you could possibly then have that submit stuff to MWS,
Mhm.
who then executes it on behalf, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do MWS and Viewpoint need to be installed in the same system as Moab?
At the moment, yes. Okay. At the moment, but we're actually going through and about looking into divorcing that marriage, because for security purposes, yeah, and then B for usability as well, yeah. But at the moment, I can imagine we've actually been rapidly trying to get out the door on this, yeah. And I think we're on version 2 or something like that, of MWS at the moment. Or what version of MWS we're at the moment? Yeah, version 2. So it's yes. So that marriage should be divorced, so you can actually deploy wherever you want. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It has to actually be on the Moab server, it can't just be on the submit node.
It has to be on web. It has.
You can't build it on the submit server.
No, it has to be on Moab web. It has to be on the Moab server. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It has to be the Moab server nodes, not the actual compute nodes or the submit nodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I meant like, like if you have 3 or 4 head nodes,
Yeah.
one is the actual server, and then you've got some submit
Yep.
servers where you let
Yep.
users submit from.
Yep.
It has to be on
Correct.
the server.
Yes.
Well, I can't run that.
I'm sorry. wait till version 3 comes out.
What's ETL? What's the difference?
So right now we have a release scheduled for Q4. That's what we're shooting for right now.
Okay. Well, that's probably how long it's taking to do the work anyway. What is the difference?
So we knew that already. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Can the web interface be used to bridge multiple?
Yes, 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 and yes. Because I use it now. I use it now. Yeah. So I believe what you were going to say before I cut you short, apologies, is that can it be used to bridge not just to Moab, but to go to other places as well? Yeah. Well, where were you going to say that? Can you use the actual web service interface to actually bridge other components as well, or other areas of your organization?
Yep.
Yes, you can. Okay.
In a way that the user doesn't have to know which resource they're going to?
They got no idea. Yeah, it's your one funnel. Your one place comes in. So when it comes in, you get the request. You can then go through and do whatever you want with it. Yeah.
Can you do it in such a way, so say that they've got different groups in their organization that have different software, commercial software licenses.
Mm-hmm.
Can you specify these set of users with these logons are able to submit jobs to these applications?
Yes.
Not others?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So just more of a general commentary. We make use of partitions in Moab,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lack of tools to really get the information on a partition level basis.
Yep.
So I don't see much in MWS right now to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any kind of, changes or anything that I'm going to try to,
To enhance that.
improve that?
I think they're looking into it, yeah, for now, but I've not actually heard that specific requirement as of yet. Because for me, I mean, I personally am moving away from actually trying to use the Moab command because I can get a lot more information coming back from web services than what I can do from Moab command, and also response time is a lot faster, as well. But regarding the partition information, is the first time I've actually had that request. So hopefully one of my colleagues will capture that, and then I'll take it up with them. Hey, I'm just enjoying myself. I'm nervous to begin with. Now I'm on a roll. All right, thanks.